Right, so who is ready to discuss sex hormones? You are awake. I am so glad. So for anybody wondering, why in the world would someone talk about hormones at an essential oil symposium? Do you know that our essential oils and our hormones use the exact same communication pathways on our cells? Did you know that every single mitochondrion in your body, those tiny powerhouses that create energy, came from your mother? And not just your mother, her mother before her, and her mother before her, all the way back through your maternal line, unbroken for thousands of years. Your mitochondria are a living legacy. They carry not just energy, but the biological wisdom of the women who came before you. Wisdom of nourishment, wisdom of cycles, wisdom of creation, restoration, and survival. It's easy to forget that when you're feeling a little exhausted and overwhelmed. Mom of 9, I feel that often. But your mitochondria haven't forgotten. They are still whispering that your body is intelligent. Is that how you're feeling right now? Like your body is a vessel of wisdom and energy? Or do you possibly feel like it's working against you? Like it's possibly betrayed you? So I want to talk about what's happening behind the scenes. Many of you are entering perimenopause without even realizing it. So every female in the room over the age of 35 who is still having a cycle, please raise your hand. Welcome to perimenopause. Any one of you still doing everything right? Clean eating, supplements, movement, sleep hygiene, and still feel like you're falling apart. And the hardest part, you're the one helping others. You're the one showing up for your team, your customers, your family, while quietly wondering, why can't I fix myself? You used to be the high-performing type A woman who could do it all, and now your body is telling you, slow down, and no one is giving you any real answers. Your doctor says you're fine. Society says this is normal, but what they don't say is this: most of modern health science is built on the male body. For decades, women were actually excluded from clinical trials because our hormonal rhythms were considered too complex. So the result, we've inherited a healthcare system that doesn't fully understand female physiology. They think they do, but what they have done is applied science that was done on the male body and decided this should work for women too. So we're handed protocols designed for a biology that is not ours, and then we're made to feel like we're the problem because the results are not what we want. Let me be clear. You are not broken. You are biologically brilliant. And your hormones are actually not working against you. They are communicating with you. When we understand them, when we support them, when we listen to them, they become our allies instead of our adversaries. Every single woman, whether you hit menopause, whether you've had a hysterectomy, you're still cycling. In our younger years, that rhythm is usually strong and obvious, but as we age, it can become chaotic, muted, or maybe feel like it's disappeared altogether. The truth is, those cycles actually never stop. It's not like your cells wake up one day and be like, well, today she turned 53, I'm not needed anymore. That's actually not how biology works. Our cells are still searching for their communicators: estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Yes, ladies, we need that one too. So when those signals become weaker, inconsistent, the system starts to scramble. That scramble is what we feel as hot flashes, mood swings, brain fog, sleep disruption, or that sense that our body is just breaking down. What we've accepted as normal aging, it's not normal. It's common. And that's why learning how to sync movement, lifestyle, and nutrition with our natural rhythm is so powerful. We're essentially reteaching our body its own language, giving those cells the environment they need to receive and respond to the signals properly again. So let's dive in a little deeper so you can understand what is happening and so you can make more informed decisions when designing your personal routine. You guys have learned so much today, and it's impossible for us all to pack in everything you learned in our individual routines. So I want you to learn how to customize. This chart may look a little overwhelming, maybe say, but it tells the story of how every sex hormone in your body is created. You don't need to memorize it, but I do need you to understand what fuels this process and what shuts it down. So it all begins with cholesterol. Turns out that's not a 4-letter word. Here's something most people don't realize. 75 to 80% of your cholesterol is made by your liver, not your fork. Yet most of the conversations about cholesterol focus on diet instead of liver health. So that's the first key I need you to grasp. Second, I would like you to look closely at the arrows on that chart. Every single arrow represents an enzyme plus a cofactor. Enzymes are built from amino acids. So ladies, if you're not eating enough protein, your body doesn't have the raw material to make them. Cofactors are vitamins and minerals, which means nutrient density becomes non-negotiable. That's a lot of arrows on that chart. So here's the sobering reality. Our food today contains about 40% fewer nutrients than it did a century ago. And that's only if you're eating all whole foods instead of processed options. Completely sidelined. Over time, that imbalance shows up as feeling anxious, sleep disruption, irregular cycles, wanting to strangle your husband when he snores at night, and accelerated aging. But stress isn't the only player. Blood sugar levels are just as crucial. Every time normal insulin spikes occur, it changes these hormone dynamics. In women, suboptimal insulin levels can directly stimulate the ovaries to crank out more androgens like testosterone. At the same time, insulin lowers the liver's production of sex hormone binding globulin, or SHBG. Think of SHBG as the chaperone. It keeps testosterone in check. When SHBG drops, more free testosterone is circulating, and that's when symptoms like acne, other skin issues, hair growth in unwanted places, and irregular ovulation can appear. Add to that, insulin also increases luteinizing hormone, which is released from the pituitary gland, which pushes the ovaries to make even more testosterone. However, for men, the story completely flips. When blood sugar swings lead to belly fat, aromatase activity rises. And aromatase is the enzyme that converts testosterone to estrogen. The more belly fat, the more conversion. The result, low testosterone, higher estrogen, and a vicious cycle of fat gain, fatigue, declining vitality. And this isn't just a theory. We're watching men's testosterone levels drop generation after generation. In the last 3 years of lab work, I've yet to see a 20-year-old match his 50-year-old father's levels. Researchers are calling the decline alarming, and it impacts far more than libido. Low testosterone affects energy, muscle mass, metabolism, mood, and even your motivation for life. And then there's estrogen itself. Estrogen doesn't just disappear when it's used. It actually has to be broken down and eliminated. When the estrobolome, that's where the estrobolome comes in, it's a specific set of gut microbes that actually process estrogen metabolites. If the estrobolome is healthy, estrogen is detoxified and excreted. But if the gut microbiome is imbalanced, or if you're not having daily bowel movements, didn't think we were going to talk about bowel movements again, those metabolites actually get reabsorbed. So it's kind of like taking out the trash and then bringing it right back into your kitchen and dumping it on the floor. The end result, you have estrogen dominance, hormone symptoms, and an added strain on an already stressed system. So here's the bottom line. Stress drains DHEA. Type A living drives women into imbalance. Even normal insulin spikes create testosterone surges in women and estrogen surges in men. And a sluggish gut recycles estrogen back into circulation. Hormone health is not about one gland. It's about the entire system, from your stress response to your liver to your microbiome. We just talked about how blood sugar imbalances can hijack hormone health, fueling excess androgens in women, driving that estrogen conversion in men, and keeping the whole system under an additional stress. In the follicular phase, the very beginning of your cycle, when estrogen is climbing, limiting excess carbs and focusing on lean protein, fiber, and colorful veggies supports optimal estrogen metabolism. This is my favorite targeted solution for those healthy blood sugar levels and one of our most powerful levers for hormone balance. This is where the MetaPower system shines. MetaPower Assist is a targeted supplement designed to help moderate those post-meal glucose curves. It also combines mulberry leaf extract, which helps promote healthy regulation of normal range blood sugar levels, with berberine and cinnamon, both of which have been studied for their ability to support glucose metabolism. MetaPower Essential Oil Blend works from another angle. Its rich chemistry supports healthy metabolic processes and can actually help you curb cravings that drive those really poor food choices. You can diffuse it, you can take it in a soft gel, or my absolute favorite way is to use several drops while dry brushing. Together, Assist and MetaPower Oil give your body the support it needs to stay off the blood sugar roller coaster, helping free up your hormonal pathways to work the way they were designed. So, remember those mitochondria I mentioned? They don't just make energy, they are the ignition switch for your hormones. If exhaustion is your main concern, then this targeted solution would be your go-to. Mitochondrial signaling plays a central role in steroid hormone production: estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. But here's the key: mitochondria need cofactors. They need nutrients like our B vitamins, magnesium, selenium, and zinc to function. They also rely on omega-3 fatty acids to stabilize the membranes, regulate a healthy inflammatory response, and keep your cells fluid and responsive. And your estrobolome, the part of your gut microbiome that metabolizes estrogen, relies on digestive integrity, fiber, and detox pathways to do its job. The wisdom is there. So if something is off, we have to ask ourselves, are my cells getting what they need? That's why at doTERRA, everything we teach begins with the wellness pyramid, because hormonal health is not separate from foundational health. The pyramid reminds us nutrition and digestion first, then movement, metabolism, rest and stress recovery, reducing our toxic